Dragon Ball, one of the most hyped and oldest anime franchises, as far as I know. The franchise has had a couple of stories or arcs or whatever, like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and a couple others, and the most recent Super. There are a couple of things that people try to make excuses for and not call it for the absolute shit it is. In this video, I'm going to talk about two things really: character development and power scaling slash consistency. When I say character development, most of your minds went to Piccolo or Tien. But we're also going to talk about Goku's development or character development. In the early days of Dragon Ball, as far as I can tell, it was similar to DC and Marvel. Almost completely unrelatable. People doing crazy powerful stuff, and it's rarely about intelligence, but rather who could blow up a planet, frig that, a universe, or a freaking omni-trillion, kabillion, decillion, supertonic verse. DC and Marvel developed over time so that their stories make more sense, and there's room for intelligently written villains. Dragon Ball, on the other hand, did not do this. Well, they tried to, but never properly developed, and sometimes adds to the inconsistency of the franchise. Think about the Zamasu Goku Black arc, and we're going to talk about that arc in a minute. Okay, first, power scaling and consistency. Alright, everyone has talked about what's wrong with power scaling, power levels, and why they didn't work. But for some reason, people continue to reference them, even though I don't think it's even been mentioned in Super. But hang on, it's not their fault. The stories never officially killed off power scaling, as far as I can remember. The universe just magically ran out of those things that calculated people's power levels. Unlike DC, that did a reboot, Dragon Ball just kept going in the hopes that we'd forget such an atrocity of for plot existed. Now, I know some of you are in the comments like, "Oh, but they're only used as a reference." Okay, shush. They shouldn't be used as anything. Why? Because of something I called power consistency. Take, for example, Frieza. He destroyed the planet of the Saiyans with one attack. Let me pause here to mention something. The community stresses on the fact that he used an attack that came from his finger, implying that it took little to no effort, or just the effort of his finger, to destroy a planet. Ugh, retards. Why couldn't it have been him just consolidating or condensing a massive amount of energy, which he obviously did, to destroy the planet? And I think the series played on that as well, the whole hype around his finger. But here is why that's not, or that was wrong. Frieza in his base form was able to, with little effort, destroy a planet. Mind you, this guy has a million transformations. The final form in Z was relative to Goku's Super Saiyan 1 in power. In Dragon Ball Super, Frieza tries to use an attack and he clearly states can destroy an entire planet after becoming frustrated that he couldn't match Toppo. However you put it, the attack is relative to the one in Dragon Ball Z that destroyed the planet in his base form. That's right, this and this are relative in power. And according to all this stupid power-ups and scaling, you need an attack that destroys a freaking galaxy or universe to throw at a god Toppo. Wait. God of Destruction, G-O-D? Huh. Spells God itself. Anyways, the point is, you'd need a way more powerful attack to do any damage. And Frieza should be able to dish out way more power in his golden form compared to base. And don't say they were holding back either, because Frieza was clearly frustrated. If anyone in the tournament of power were holding back, they shouldn't have been getting tired. Maybe at the beginning, yeah, but not at that point where things were about to wrap up. That was when everyone was going all out. It's why freaking Topo even took on the God of Destruction form. Let's look at Dispo, or whatever you want to call it. Dispo, in his ultimate form, was able to reach speeds of sound and light. And I'm not the one saying this. Topo said this. Okay? Goku, while he was a snot-nosed brat, was able to move so fast he was able to create after images, making him look like he has more hands than he anatomically should have. Let me reiterate. This is child Goku. Stack on adult thousands of transformations later, and guess what? He isn't even able to keep up with Dispo in Super Saiyan Red. Shut up. I'm gonna call it Red. Do you know how fast you'd have to be going in order to create after images? Anyone? Because I really don't know. I know you'd have to be going really fast. I'm just gonna leave the people who are about to go spend sleepless nights trying to debunk what I'm saying to figure that out. Anyways, Goku is supposed to be way faster than the speed of light. Really, many times over. I watched the Screw Attack video. But he wasn't able to keep up with Dispo. Where's the consistency? Still not convinced yet? Let's talk about Zamasu Black Arc for a second. At Super Saiyan Blue form, Goku is said to be on a universal, possible multiversal level of power, and he has to be, since Broly and Boo were able to destroy galaxies and quadrants or whatever that is. And it didn't take a Super Saiyan Red to beat him. Him fusing with Vegeta should make them stupidly powerful. When they fought Merge Zamasu, a fight that intense should destroy galaxies, let alone the planet they were fighting on. You see what I mean? It makes no sense. These guys are said to be so strong, but are phased by attacks that can't even destroy a planet. Think of a bodybuilder. If he's able to lift, let's say 500 pounds, right? His max is 500 pounds. And he can do 10 reps at a time, right? He should be able to lift 200 pounds, no difficulty. If someone is able to destroy a planet using raw power, attacks that can't destroy a planet using raw power shouldn't be able to kill them. The truth is, they just can't write characters on how strong they're supposed to be theoretically. Those characters just wouldn't make sense. They'll be completely unrelatable and would utterly limit story potential. Furthermore, what would their villains be like? And villains for the future. In each story, you'll need to top the last one. And in Dragon Ball, no one really tries to outsmart their opponent. A weaker guy doesn't try to find a weak spot in the stronger guy's technique and exploit it. All they do is go in their hyperbolic plot device and become stronger. And Goku is stupid as shit. Like, the guy is really stupid. The only time we saw him effectively use some sort of brain cell was when he was mentoring Kale and Khalifa, and when he was fighting Jiren at the last part. Anyways, on the character development side of things, it's pretty straightforward. A lot of us in real world feel a lot like how Vegeta feels. Goku gets all of the spotlight and everyone else develops off screen, if any development at all. And I think they only develop just to show how much stronger Goku has become. And it's so blatant at times. Piccolo. He's been reduced to a sloppy commentator for how much stronger Goku has become, like all of the other Goku fanboys. When he first made an appearance, there was a lot of hype around him. Everybody loved him. He did a lot of cool things. Now he's been reduced to Gohan's butt scratcher. No development at all. Gohan got some form of development in this Cell Saga. I guess the writers at that point thought that it was time to give someone else a spotlight. But then, right after, they went back to Goku. Gohan doesn't really fight anymore, and that's just convenient. And he's supposed to have the most potential out of all the Saiyans. Tien and Yamcha are at the bottom of the shithole. Krillin's useless. I'm surprised they haven't killed Roshi as yet. And Vegeta keeps whining, "Why does Kakarot get to go big boom boom? And I don't! I want to be able to go big boom boom." Okay, that's not working. He was even supposed to have a moment in the Tournament of Power, but his moment amounted to nothing but one just to help Goku go big boom boom. It's just stupid. A lot of people were upset when 17 was able to go toe to toe with Blue all of a sudden. Everyone was just said to have been training, and they just got more powerful. And again, it's just to show the contrast between how more powerful Goku has become. Ultra Instinct. This sort of puts Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball franchise, at a disadvantage because not everyone's favorite character is Goku. And when other characters don't get to shine, that thing sort of pisses people off. All in all, in my opinion, Dragon Ball is like the polar opposite of animes like Death Note or Hunter x Hunter. It's not intellectual, like at all. The Goku Black arc was the series' one chance at going down that path, and they blew it. I remember seeing a bunch of fan theories about who Goku Black is and deep theories, and the revelation was a big letdown. A 7-year-old could have come up with that plot. The series, and this is my advice to the community, don't ever try to figure Dragon Ball out. Just watch for the action. That's just what the series is about, action and who has the biggest testicles. Don't come looking for a Naruto or a Death Note, because you're not gonna find it here. If you come looking for that, you'll be setting yourself up for disappointment. It's about brute force, action, fighting, boom booms, and blowing shit up. Don't try to figure it out or anything of that nature. Good night, and here's something for you to masturbate to. Also, subscribe.